And Alejandro Portes is on the phone with us right now. Alejandro, what exactly is being done in these cities? What's being cut back?
Well, I think that they are struggling with an impossible situation because they were not part of the forces that lead to this mass migration in the border, and the fact that Texas is busing people to the northern cities took them by surprise. They have been very patient and trying to help newcomers, but that has a limit. I mean, the shelters in New York and in Chicago are full, and they don't know exactly what to do with this population. So the fact that they are signaling it's the end of it, we cannot do anymore, is perfectly understandable.
I mean, it's understandable, but I mean, isn't it just indicative of a system that is supremely overloaded and unsustainable in the first place, no matter how those immigrants received transportation to these towns?
The system, the asylum system in the United States, everyone agrees, is completely broken because there is no way that is when people show up at the border by the thousands to claim asylum, there is no place to put them. So what Border Patrol officers and so on do is release asylum seekers with just a court date, which can be months away, and letting them sort of amble in the streets of border cities. So that's where the Texas police pounces, put them on buses, and sends them out. But basically, the important thing is that the asylum system of the United States is completely broken at this time, and it's sending thousands and thousands of people to northern locations with no social networks, nowhere to go, depending on public charity. That obviously has a limit. So while the American asylum system continues to be like it is now, we are going to see more and more of this crisis.
But what is the answer? Because I think for a lot of Americans, they're seeing this. They're seeing their own impacts at the grocery store. They can't afford to buy certain food. They see immigration affecting their communities very close to home, in parks, or perhaps even schools being taken over to be used as shelters for immigrants who've crossed into the country illegally. So wouldn't that make an argument to say no more immigration at this time until we get a handle on the current situation that's happening within our borders?
Absolutely. There is no question of that could be a solution, but it's not going to happen because by law, by American law, everyone who shows at the border and claims asylum, claims that they have a legitimate fear of persecution, is entitled to a hearing. That's a legal requirement. So the Border Patrol and so on have only, that is, if the claim is not completely frivolous, they have to allow people in but the U.S. government does not have any place to put them who are awaiting a hearing before an immigration judge. So they let them come in. And that's where governors like that, of the Texas governor, can come in and play politics by putting these hapless people who have no idea of what is happening to them in buses and coming up. So until the legal system is fixed, that is the asylum system is fixed, there is no possibility of doing anything else because by law, the courts will prevail in saying that anybody who comes to the border and claims a legitimate fear of persecution is entitled to a hearing.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.